In the Impact segment tonight, after all the chaos, confusion, and broken promises, yet another adjustment in the ObamaCare rollout. Due to technical difficulties, today's deadline to sign up for a health plan, if you want it by the new year, has been extended yet again until tomorrow. And just to show you what a great thing it is, over the weekend, the president himself enrolled. A symbolic gesture at best, since his medical care will be provided still by the military. Meantime, a new Gallup poll shows Americans are split on the Health Care Act, with 36% saying it is the president's biggest failure, while 22% see it as his greatest achievement. The other 42% apparently were drunk. Joining us now from Washington, Fox News political analyst Juan Williams, and here in New York, Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli, author of the book Black Lash. So, Juan, I want to go to you first. My guess is that you're going to say it's going to get better, but that's what I tell my wife about my snoring, and it's been 8 years. Do you believe it's going to get better, even when you say so?
Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, I think ultimately it's up to what the insurance companies do with regard to their rates in the middle of next year, what kind of premiums the people who are not directly impacted, people who haven't been in the independent market, you know, how do small businesses relate? We'll see how this plays out. But that poll to me is fascinating. I mean, you know, 50% of Republicans, Greg, say that's Obama's biggest failure is the Affordable Health Care Act. Imagine that, 50%. 40% of Republicans say they can't name anything that he's accomplished that's worthy of, you know, some acknowledgement. They don't think he's accomplished anything. That tells you how divided this country is.
Yeah. So, Denise, some in this poll, they called it his biggest achievement, and others called it his biggest failure. Why can't it be both? Because essentially the success for one side is failure for another.
The whole thing is a massive failure. Legislatively, Obama won, but in the real world and with hardworking Americans, this is a losing game because millions of Americans are losing their health insurance. And it's playing out in the polls. Obama's credibility, his trustworthiness. Americans are tired of big government getting in their business. The government needs to get out of the way, and these poll numbers indicate that people are tired of big government.
Yeah, Juan, the president finally enrolled in the health care plan. He chose a bronze plan, which I thought was kind of nice. Better late than never.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you know what? I don't understand it because, as you pointed out, his health care is taken care of. I mean, the government takes care of the president. And you know what? This is another example where, you know, I think we're engaged in so many kind of kabuki wars here. He's enrolling to make a show that he is willing to participate in the plan and, you know, to make a show of this. In fact, people who have money like that, this is not what we're talking about. Most Americans aren't impacted by this unless the insurance companies jack up the rates.
Are you kidding me? 6 million Americans have lost their health care coverage. It's estimated that 75 million will lose their employer-based insurance coverage next year. How can you say that? Those numbers are staggering.
No, look, 75 to 80% of Americans get their insurance through their
Those numbers are staggering, Juan. Is this what the White House told you when you met with them last month?
Deneen, you just said 6 to 7 million. That's in the individual market.
Their private insurance. They were happy with their insurance, Juan. Why do they need the government telling them what to do? This is America.
You're going way off point.
No,
you just said,
point.
Hang on. You just said most Americans. Clearly, most Americans are not impacted by this.
I didn't say most anything. I said 6 million. You said that.
That's true. 6 to 6 million. And now what we come down to. 75 million is a big
number. That's next year's estimate.
Fine, but again, what we have here is most people who've had their policies canceled.
How can you defend the undefendable? It's
Can I speak for a second? I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, of the people who've had their policies canceled, 6 to 7 million, you're talking about.
They were happy with their insurance. That's what you're not hearing me.
Okay, can I finish the point for once? I just wanted to say to you that those 6 to 7 million people, most of them have now gotten new policies under the Obamacare plan.
And it costs more. Some of them won't be able to go to their same doctors.
It doesn't always cost more. And here's the thing that I find really interesting is, you know, the Obama people realizing how they've screwed up. They are constantly trying to change the plan. They've extended the deadline now an extra day for when you can get covered. They keep changing the
rules on everyone. People are so confused. No one has any idea. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow.
Okay, can I finish a point for once?
People really want to be trying to logging on to get health insurance when they already had it.
All right, you kids. I'm going to have to break you two up.
Thank you.
Juan, there is a good point, though. It is when you keep looking at these delays and all the changes and the exemptions, it's more confusing than a French foreign film. Isn't that going to be a problem?
No, I don't think it helps with the overall impression of the program. And if you look right now, Americans are down on Obamacare because they realize the rollout has been such a failure. But what I'm saying to you is, what you see in terms of all these changes that the Obama people keep making, they try to create more. Can I finish? They keep trying to create more options for Americans, and you would think that people on the Republican side would say, well, gee, that's what we want. We want this program to work.
This is common sense. Obamacare is not working. It's harming hardworking Americans, and government needs to get out of our lives. That's what I think.
I think it's making you obsessive, Denise.
And you got the White House talking points down very well. Congratulations.
I don't have any talking point. I'm trying to say Americans know that the status quo. The status quo is not desirable with high premiums.
It's a failure, Juan.
Let me tell you, 30 or 40 million Americans with no insurance. People can't afford their prescription drugs. That's failure, Denise.
Good luck with that.
This is just like Christmas at my house. It's amazing. Or an episode of Moonlighting. I'm not sure. Very old reference.
Well, Greg, don't throw the cranberry sauce at the old lady. Don't do that.
I will never do that. Thank you, Juan Tanin.